All right. This is episode 2 of Mostly White Noise. I think this is the first one where we actually have a title for the podcast. And I'm Liam Devine.
I am Nate Wesalius.
I'm Zane Henley Beasley.
And David's son.
David, you're new.
Yes, I am.
So what is so new about you?
What is so new about me?
Yes, please tell us about yourself.
Well, I think you guys had to have a ethnic minority fill-in, so...
We did. That makes us look better
The
online.
half-Korean kid he threw me in the ring.
Yeah, we
So
did.
here I am.
When Chris couldn't make it, we're like, crap, we need someone.
We need someone.
Otherwise,
ethnic.
it's just white noise.
It's
And
just-
we-
Exactly, it's not mostly
It's
white
not
noise.
mostly white
mostly.
noise, then.
Then we'd be lying to our audience.
We need you, David, more than you know. Yeah.
And I don't need you guys.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's fine.
You can just leave now if you want. You know what? You know what? We don't need you. Get out of here.
So we are back from fall break.
We were on fall break. Yeah,
Yes.
it wasn't very long, but it was pretty much pretty well needed.
That's what she
I
said.
think everyone went home except for Nate, who went home with me.
Oh, yeah.
Why'd you have to
like
wink?
that doesn't have
Why'd you have to
conversations. But no, it was a good time with me and Liam, so I do appreciate Liam taking me out there and bending me over pretty good there.
Oh,
so,
okay.
thank
Oh,
you.
wow.
I appreciate you.
I thought we
You
weren't going to
said
talk
you were-
about that.
Good stuff.
I'm
Good
sorry.
stuff,
You know what?
man.
I decided it wasn't going to be confidential.
Oh,
But anyway.
oh
Wait,
God.
what
All
are we
right,
doing here?
moving right along. David, what'd you do over break, dude?
I went home back to Orlando. It was good.
Awesome.
Napped a
Home to
lot. Slept. Played
Good.
video games. Hung out with my bros.
What were you playing?
What was I playing? I got NBA 2K18.
Oh,
So that was a big deal for me.
you're a sports person.
I am.
Wow, you're a loser.
I'm actually not.
I play nerdy video games like a cool kid.
I was.
Define nerdy video games.
I don't know, Shadow of
Anything
Mordor.
that's not COD.
That's not nerdy.
Anything that's-
Shadow of Mordor is a Lord of the Rings standalone video game. Yes, it's
No,
nerdy.
but it's
I've
very
actually played
popular.
that.
It doesn't
Good.
necessarily cater to just like Lord of the Rings.
Oh, I know.
Fans,
I know. It's a
so-
super awesome game.
No, it's top of the
played
line.
that
Salt
before.
of the earth, that game.
Salt of the earth,
yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely.
All right. What is the craziest thing that happened to any of you guys this week?
My
if
friend,
anything.
my
crazy?
friend might be going to jail.
Right. Let's share
Yes.
that story.
Why is that?
Well, a while back ago, he has a nice Subaru Impreza WRX. He loves it.
I love it.
2005, I think. He's been working on that car for years. He does it all at his home. He loves it. He goes into Subaru rallies, like one does when one has a Subaru.
Mm-hmm. Gotta feel like
He was
There's
doing-
there's
absolutely.
Subaru rally.
apparently, dude.
In
Wait, are you serious?
in Martin County, Florida, apparently. They meet every so often. I don't know. I've never been myself.
Are they like paraded out? Or
No,
is
no,
this like
it's,
a
it's,
Are they
it's,
really
it's
proud of
usually
their
late at
Subarus?
night. It's usually late at night, guys just ogling at each other's cars. That's not an
Is
innuendo.
that much of like a...
That's not.
I
I'm
didn't,
sure.
I didn't know people could be that like enthused about their Subarus.
No,
I didn't think
I-
that was a thing.
I-
Is that really?
My friend, one time we were in a parking lot and we were waiting on our other friends that we were chilling in his car. He sees another Subaru across the parking lot. He goes, drives around, parks next to it, waits for the guy to come out, and tells him how much he loves his car.
Bro, they are besties. Everyone who owns
Wow.
a Subaru, they're just best friends.
It's
right away.
it's a soul connection. I'm somewhat jealous.
I mean, one of my friends has a WRX, and he doesn't go to Subaru
That's actually
rallies,
really
so I don't know if
similar
it's.
to like being Korean.
Whoa.
I kid you not. I kid
You see
not.
another half
Being
Korean,
Korean.
you're
You
like,
see,
yo.
any other Korean? This girl in my honors class, she comes up to me after class. She goes, "Are you Korean?" And I was like, "Yes." She goes, "I knew it." And I was like, "Well, how?"
Whoa.
I was like, "How long did you know this?" She goes, "First day of class." And I'm like, she goes, "Did you know I was like, you're Korean too, aren't you?" She goes, "Yeah." I'm like, "Yeah, I knew. First day of class."
So that means
It's-
I think you
Subaru.
just found your wife.
Subaru
thing.
is
It's
becoming
a
its own
Subaru.
cultural thing.
I think it's not a
That's
race.
crazy.
It's the Korean of the automobile industry.
Uh-huh.
So, continuing down this road, no
More
pun
like,
intended.
More like
Stop.
a rabbit hole.
Let me stop you right there.
My friend, he was doing donuts in the parking lot as one does, and some
Yeah,
cop,
Subaru.
As one does in Subaru.
some cop pulls up and is like, "Yo, you street racing," which is not a street racing charge. It should not.
That's
be.
reckless driving.
$500 ticket. He can get his license taken away, points on his license, etc., etc. So he gets a lawyer. He gets out on bond. Technically, he's like arrested, but so then my one friend, salt of the earth, gets caught underage drinking at a tailgate.
The same guy or different?
Same guy.
No,
Same
dude,
guy.
when you're a Subaru
Yeah.
owner, you just do
He
crazy
got
stuff.
he got
man.
It's
arrested.
the Subaru. I'm telling you.
He got technically arrested as well there. While you're out on bond, getting arrested again isn't good.
Really?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
I'm in
surprisingly.
trouble then.
And then, so he has 2 court dates now. One for the street racing, and then one for the underage drinking. Last night, he's driving to my house to go.
I'm sorry,
see-
David. Are we boring you?
Yeah, I'm starting my
You can
story.
always just say.
So he's driving to my house. He just added underglow to his car. Beautiful, beautiful. And then the cop pulled him over for underglow, and he gave him another ticket.
What's the ticket for undergo though? What's the
Excessive lights or something like that.
excessive?
So like He has 3 court dates in 3 different counties.
That's the thing that booked him. Your car is shining too much, man.
Wait, is that why like when you were little kids and like
Disturbing the peace.
your mom would get mad if you turned the light on in the back? And, you know,
That's
ever
why,
had
man.
those?
You'll get pulled
Oh,
over.
I
think it
No,
was
no.
Let's be honest though, as we are all drivers here, isn't that really annoying when somebody in the car does that? Doesn't
I don't
that
think it's
screw with how much
nearly as big of a deal
No, like at
as our
nighttime.
Oh, at
parents.
night?
Yeah.
I don't think
I-
it's that
I would
big a
agree.
deal.
Do you not notice?
I don't think it's that big
I
a
don't
deal.
notice it
I've
all.
turned
do.
it on to get something out of my car.
Yeah, I
And then, like-
while I'm driving.
It messes
get
with my
something.
mirrors and stuff like that, because then you can't see reflections as well.
Nah, some people who have like high beams and they're behind me and I'm getting blinded. without
that's
even
the
look-
worst.
I'm like, no, you're a danger to the road, not this stupid light.
And then we can always go back to John Mark's kind of about his rant of people with hazards on.
What was his rant with hazards?
Oh, John Mark nearly
yeah.
died.
Yeah, that was a bad.
Nah.
Did I miss that?
No,
he
that
didn't-
wasn't on the
he
story.
did not
No, he
nearly
didn't.
die.
You're
but-
exaggerating this
Yeah.
as most things.
No, well, he did get run off the road.
That's most.
He got run off the road
What?
by hazards. What are you
couldn't-
talking
he
The
was
about?
trying to
lights
go around-
themselves jumped off the car and ran
they
him off
just
the
beat
road.
Yeah.
him off the
They
road.
were just like, we don't
He
like
was-
you.
I went
Like a
to like a
pinball
Chinese
machine.
restaurant with him. He was ranting about it the entire way there and the entire way back. Like
You went
it
to a
was
Chinese
so-
restaurant?
We,
Well, he did.
Was it after 12 o'clock? Because
Absolutely
no Asian restaurants are open all night, David.
That's an epidemic.
What is the deal with that?
I'm telling you, that is. I'm telling you, college kids.
Now that we have an
would-
I don't
There's-
think
there's
he's.
an-
I
there's
don't
an
think he's a
industry.
duly represented voice of the entire Asian.
No,
people.
David-
He's the
There's-
closest
I could
thing
be.
we
I
have.
could be wrong. He might be.
There's an industry for that. Honestly, college kids need Chinese food
Hey.
late at night.
This is
Where do you
true.
think the Taco Bell across the railroad tracks makes all their money?
Dude, all those
After
stoned
midnight.
college kids that like
After midnight.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Chinese food get killing off of that.
you should open a 24.
So are we going to business?
Well, I mean,
But you're not Chinese.
How about it
I'm not
doesn't?
Chinese.
How about this?
Most-
none of the
Asian
people, none of the
noise.
people
It's
that
not
make,
mostly
make
Asian
Chinese
noise.
food are
Chinese-
Chinese, though. Let me put that out there. They're not actually Chinese.
Oh no,
No.
of course
No.
not.
They're
But
just
we
some-
can't. But us white people can't tell the difference.
Mostly
So it's
Chinese
not-
food.
it's not
That's our
really
restaurant
an
chain.
issue, right?
Mostly Chinese food.
Mostly Chinese food. That's
Mostly
our restaurant chain.
Chinese.
I like it.
Mostly Chinese food.
Yeah.
I almost died this like weekend driving.
Really?
Do tell.
Yeah. So I was with my friends Logan, Emily, and then my girlfriend Brooke,
Okay.
and we were scoot closer to the mic, you idiot.
Don't interrupt.
Yeah,
us.
Just
Liam,
kidding,
scoot
David. I
closer
love
to
you.
the mic.
David, I love you. Anyways, we were. I was with Emily, Logan, and Brooke, and we were driving to this place called like the 10-mile clay loop, and it's like a running track or whatever during the day. At night, it's just really pretty. You can see the stars and stuff. It's just a pretty area, lots of tall grass.
Solid.
Where's that?
It's in
Stanford?
no, it starts with a C.
Chuliota?
No, it's not Clearwater. It's
Oh, you're in the like West Coast?
it's like 30 minutes outside of Orlando.
West?
I don't know. I don't
Oh my
remember.
god.
Oh my
Claremont,
gosh.
Claremont.
Claremont, thank you. It was in Claremont.
that's-
And so it's a running track, and then at night it's really pretty. It's a pretty area, you know.
Yeah, I've heard of that, yeah.
Take a blanket out there and lie down. So we took a big freaking blanket, and I was following Logan and Emily. They were in Logan's car. I actually had my dad's car. It's a BMW. It's really nice. He let me drive it because I was with Brooke and everything. He was jolly guy, swell, generous man.
Jolly good friend.
And so I'm in my dad's car, and it's a BMW. It's quick. We're on the road, and I'm on the highway headed towards Claremont, and this massive freaking truck is riding my ass like so hard. You don't even
Is this
understand.
like one of those like lifted trucks?
Well, a bit
like,
lifted. It
white-
had
is
it had
like a white
underglow.
Ram.
Yeah,
Take it.
It had underglow. It had like blue xenon lights, and like it was just. This guy was compensating so hard. He was riding my ass. He was like.
I
He
think,
was
the
like-
word you're looking for is overcompensating.
Yeah, there you go. He was like.
Because I compensated normal.
Very
He was
popular term down in
less than a
Texas where you see
foot
people like
behind
that
me.
all the time.
He was like less than a foot behind me, right?
Just
And-
pass at that point.
Dude, so here's what he does. His truck is massive. I mean, like, way too big. So I'm getting pissed off. I'm like, all right, this dude needs to back off. Brooke's like, really? Like, what is his deal? So there's this car to the right of me. It's going a little bit faster. As soon as it brakes in front of me, this truck flies around me and cuts me off. And I mean, this thing, the back of this truck was so long that I was in the lane next to it, and it almost took out the whole front of the BMW when it shifted over. I had to slam on the brakes and fly back. This thing like almost killed Brooke.
How
Yeah,
fast were you?
it was
How-
real
like,
bad.
What's
I was going like 85. I was going like 85.
And what was like a
This dude was
75?
going like it was 85 and a 70, but you know it was a highway. Like,
someone
no
was-
one's
No,
checking.
but like
no one's
how
actually
fast? So
checking.
he had to be going in a truck.
He was going like
If that-
95.
Yeah.
He's
to
going
be
like
around
95 in a truck.
I was gonna
that
die.
big, that could like literally.
I was gonna die.
He could only
That
drive
could
if-
kill me.
At that speed, he can only drive for like 10 miles.
I mean, the force behind that.
This is true.
Ridiculous.
No, and it's we have people like that down in Texas, and
I'm
we
sure.
just we tend to call them out pretty pretty
The
fast.
rattlesnakes.
But you know what? I don't really hang out with those kind of people. But given the ornamentation on his vehicle, the number of lights and things like that, I'm going to assume that it's some sort of young, very wealthy person that was kind of recklessly driving. May or may not have been under the influence of some sort of substance.
It's
do you think?
incredibly possible.
That's
Maybe it was your friend.
Huh.
Oh my god.
Maybe.
Ooh.
Maybe.
David,
Ooh.
anything crazy happening to you this week, man?
Anything crazy happened to me? No. Okay. Well, I did.
So exciting. All right, Nate. No, I'm just
kidding. No, actually, I was driving back, and like it was honestly, when I was driving back to Orlando, I was surprising my parents and surprising my family. I told them I wasn't coming back, but I remember it was like
So considerate.
it was raining, right? And it was raining pretty hard, and I probably should have reduced my speed, but I was still going like 5-10 over the speed limit. And I remember
Reckless young
I was going towards on the road, right? And I was just watching the white dotted line because that's all I could see in front of me, about like 10 feet in front of the car. All of a sudden they stopped, and so I was like, well, this is confusing, right? So I like instinctively, I had to cruise on. I was cruise on about 85. Instinctively kind of pumped the brakes a little bit, and thank God I did. I literally see the exit sign and the fork in the road. I kid you not, 15 feet in front of my car, and I mean, just like full
Did you
rotation
slide?
of the wheel. Surprisingly, I didn't. I don't know how I
lucky
didn't
bastard.
hydroplane, but it was raining pretty hard too.
That's
but
pretty
I
crazy.
it definitely made like a skirt on the road. But I didn't. Thankfully, there was like no cars behind me. But it was like one of those scary moments, especially when like if there was someone else in the car, we'd probably like.
You would have been like, I'm never riding with David again.
No, I mean, it would probably like.
I'm not riding with
I mean,
David
I would have
again.
like either erupted in like laughter or like been like super happy, right? If you're like by yourself when this happens, like in the dark, it's like super raining hard.
You're
You
like-
just want to get home.
You're playing
Yeah.
yourself
It's
the whole
just-
time. You're just
yeah.
taking you're pipping.
No, whenever stuff like happens that by myself, I'm like, I could die. I'm like, it's those moments where I'm like, I need to be responsible. Mom, I am if you listen to this.
No. Yeah, and I feel like, especially just his reaction to it, you have to be like, you really want to get home. I feel like any potential accidents or accidents that like you're in, they just like they really rattle you. You know,
They
Yeah.
do.
it really just messes with like how you perceive the world. You're just like the road isn't safe anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
Nothing
honestly,
is
you wanna
safe.
know-
You know,
do.
right?
No. You want to know who is the like strongest person I know after an accident and nearly died?
Huh.
My freaking brother. He got into
Really?
an accident 2 years ago, right? He was driving straight down the road, like 50 miles, like the speed limit's 45, like pretty well, right? Like within normal range. Some kid who's running late for curfew in a massive truck takes a left turn, mistimes.
Trucks, man.
My friend,
Trucks.
What is it with this?
It's a common
My-
narrative.
my brother T-bones it. His car,
Oh my god.
Oh.
because he's in the smaller car. His car's complete total. The front of the car goes from like I don't know how long the front of the car is, but like
It's
probably
like a slinky going down the
80%
stairs, right?
reduced. The car
80% reduced.
probably like 40, probably more like it was 40%.
So we're talking
say
like
80% is like
Cape
can
Cod,
opener
kettle cooked
kinda.
potato
Like the-
chips
Yeah,
reduced.
like
exactly.
the front of the
Oh
car,
my
the front of the
gosh.
car was completely smashed in. The truck was just mildly bruised. So here's what my brother did. You think you'd be shocked? My brother instantly got out of the car and checked on the other kids.
Dude, good stuff.
And like
Good
he
in
li-
crisis.
man,
Good in
what a-
crisis.
And literally, I heard that, and I was like, "Holy crap!" And like the next day in psych class, my teacher's like, "You know, when people in an accident, most people freeze up, and it's like it shows someone who can just get out." And
That
check
brings a
them."
couple stories to mind.
Respect.
First of which, little short blurbs. One of which is another car story. The other is a crisis story.
Also,
So-
self promotion. Check out Zane's band.
Also, I'm in a band, Theory of Us, which just released our second single on iTunes. Go check it out. Anyways, moving forward. The same night, I was in my dad's car, right, and he I never take my dad's car out. It drives very differently than my mom's car. I don't personally have a car, but it drives very differently than my mom's car. So dad's just like, drive safe. Obviously, I trust you. Just don't get pulled over or anything, because I'll be in trouble. And I'm like, yeah, don't worry, I won't, because I knew that if I got in any trouble, I'd never be able to touch that car again.
Yeah.
And he'd be really pissed at me. So I'm
Talk about
driving.
like what we experienced with like just trying to get home or like trying to get to the destination. Imagine like driving someone else, like your dad's car, like a really nice your dad's car.
I'm like, oh sweet
That's my
guy.
problem with like thinking about having like a Lamborghini. I'd be
You're
so
just-
afraid to drive it.
so
Like,
paranoid.
I'd be so paranoid, like unbelievably. And I know it's good. Anyway, I'm sorry to hijack.
No,
your
you're good,
story.
man.
You're good, man.
So I was driving like 45, right? Speed limit's 45. I was on 436, and I
exactly
see
what it is, yeah.
I'm just driving down this little area there where it was like buy some outlets and buy some like, just buy some stores and stuff just down the main road, right? See cop lights flash behind me. I'm not speeding. I'm doing nothing wrong, and yet I'm freaking out. I see the cop cars flash in my rearview mirror. I'm checking my speed limit. I'm like, there's no, why? And they weren't right behind me. But there were no cars between me and them. And I think this was just one of those stories about a cop using his lights to be a dick, you know?
Oh.
And so he pulls out in front of another car with his lights on, and I'm like, he's coming for me, man. I'm done. And he just turns into a store, shuts the lights off. I'm driving. I'm just like,
This guy.
after the cop car turned in, I was
I
like,
don't think heroin gives you that much panic.
the biggest
but you know
relief
what?
of my life when he turned into that store. I was like, oh my God, I slumped over the wheel. I was like, it was the most terrifying
Is there
experience of my
something
life.
worse than that?
What's up?
So I was driving to the mall in Oviedo one time. And so I'm driving on the road, and all of a sudden I hear one cop car. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I hear the signs. And I look behind me, and there's one riding my butt. Riding. So I'm like, it's definitely me.
Yeah.
He's riding my butt. It's me. And I pull into the turn signal because I was turning into the mall. I was like, there's no way to pull over on this side of the road. So I turn in the mall, and as I turn in, he doesn't follow me. He actually jets back out of the road. And I look back this is so terrible of me. I literally stopped in the middle of the road just to look. 7 cop cars come right behind me. It was a chase.
Oh man, you were just in the wrong place.
I was literally in the middle of the chase, and when I pulled over, he was just trying to get past me, and there was no way to get around me. So he was just riding my butt,
Where's
trying to
lights
get
on?
me to continue with the chase.
Where's lights on?
His lights were on. Yes, I was freaking.
Dude, I would have
crazy.
absolutely.
I mean, he was
pissed
riding
myself.
my butt, so I'm
Like,
like,
there's
it
no
has
way.
to be me. He's
Yeah.
right on my bumper. I was like, it's me. I'm like, I don't know what
You're
I'm
like,
doing.
you're
but-
like great. You're
maybe,
like,
maybe my taillights out or something. I don't know.
you're like, better play some Hillsong. Maybe he's a Christian.
I already was. I
I'm a
was
good
playing. I
kid.
was
You
playing,
like
yeah.
show you have a youth group card.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like a
I have
church
group
card.
ID.
Yeah.
I have my Bible in my front seat,
You're
and I
like,
had a
"Oh, I'm
cross-light
sorry."
stick on the back of my car. I mean, I was playing Christian music too, so I'm like, I wasn't doing bad.
That's what I hope if I ever get pulled over.
He's like,
I'm like,
you're a good Christian.
I
kid,
actually
I'll
found
get
out
off
what the
the
cars were for. My mom, I kid you not, so I pulled her in the road of the mall, and she called me and goes, "Are you on the road right now?" And I'm like, "Yes." She goes, "Watch out! There's a bomb threat at the kids academy that was right down the road." What? And I was like, "Oh, I was just in a cop chase." She goes, "No, they were racing to the kids academy. There's a guy saying he has a bomb in the parking lot," and I'm like,
Oh,
like, I was like,
Oh my
well,
God.
that's terrible for the kids.
You're like,
but
what
at least
parking lot?
at least I'm not getting pulled over.
wow.
Bomb threat to a bunch of kids
Or ticket.
Yeah,
you
no,
know?
ticket.
It was. And I don't think it actually nothing bad happened. Though,
bomb
so.
threats are there's so few
It
of
was
them
a
are
win-win
actually
for
real.
everyone.
And we had I was playing soccer with a few friends in the neighborhood, just on ambulances and stuff like that appearing out of nowhere. We were playing soccer in a field. It's probably 6 o'clock ish, sunset-ish, dusk, and all of a sudden we hear one fire truck go whizzing by in this residential neighborhood. Another one, 8 or 9 fire trucks and ambulances, and we're like, oh my gosh, it must be a fire. We look over, the biggest smoke cloud we have seen in our entire life, probably 3 blocks over.
Really?
And we're like, holy crap.
Was it just a house?
Yeah, it was a house, and we're all just sitting there.
Oh, that's a
we all just literally stopped and we didn't know. None of us knew what to say. We're like, oh my gosh, this is terrible.
Oh my gosh.
So it's so scary when you hear all that. They work because you really hear them and you freak out. We've been so conditioned to react.
You guys ever seen that big of a fire before? Like a really
I've
big
never
fire?
seen a fire.
Dude,
Oh,
I've never seen an actual building
I've heard
fire in the
watching
flesh.
your house burn is one of the saddest things.
I'm sure.
Dude, that's
No,
probably one of the
I
most
mean, more than most things in
traumatizing.
life.
That'd be traumatizing.
Everything that's for a while, especially
That's
people
your space, man. That's your house. That's where you've lived.
I'm
That's where
not
you've had.
invested your life.
Man's house
Yeah.
is his castle.
It's weird because I'm not sentimental about physical objects. That's just not how I'm sentimental. But I know my mom is, and it would be the worst thing. So I can't imagine for myself, but I can imagine how my mom would react. And it's insane. You're absolutely right.
No, I'm the same way. I really tend to deflect and absorb, especially really emotional experiences, as in a group. Especially my family is very sentimental and emotional, but especially I've got my mom, my 2 sisters, and I know they would be the most emotional about something, especially if our house burned down. So I feel my immediate reaction after making sure that my really important stuff is covered, all my personal items, laptop, computer, stuff like that. After all that's taken care of. What? Okay, all right. Then I feel I would just go and I'd just talk to my mom and my 2 sisters and just make sure they're doing okay, because I feel they'd be more shooken up, because that's just, I don't know, that's just me in a crisis response is just making sure that the most vulnerable people, especially the ones that are really close to me, are that they're taken care of. You know, you feel that?
Question then. All right. So if you're in a house fire, first 3 things you grab. You can only grab 3 things. You have to jump out the window.
This might sound really like crappy, but probably like my laptop.
Yeah.
You know,
I'd
that's-
probably
that's
grab
a
Well,
legit-
no, dude, that's
a
like a
legit
big.
thing.
It's like a. People say I'd say like my phone, my laptop, and like my chargers, right?
Yeah.
But that's because it's not because I can't live without my cell phone or anything. It's because you think about your phone and your laptop, and like, that's the stuff that, all your stuff is on that. Your information's on your laptop and your phone. You connect with everyone on your laptop and your
I
phone.
don't
If
save
you're in
anything to
trouble,
the cloud.
dude, I don't say. No one even knows how the cloud works.
No, there are some people that do.
I do.
so
I don't know what you're
ridiculous.
talking about. I know how to. I know
the
how to use the
people that
cloud.
know how to use the cloud are on a level way beyond.
They're
me.
gonna
they're-
rule the
it's-
world.
The cloud is not that
different
hard to
intellectual
use.
Nate, you're gonna
skill
rule the
on-
world.
Like usually it does it automatically. Like what are you talking
How?
I
about?
mean, I already knew Nate was in the upper intellectual echelon, but,
But
now that he knows how to do the cloud,
now it's definitely
it's
there.
a different,
I've achieved, like-
different respect for him.
You are
now.
you have
I'm like
achieved.
I've achieved
nirvana.
like Brahma. Like
Yeah.
I've merged. Like assuming that I am like a Hindu or whatever.
You're
so,
there. You
gosh.
made it.
But that question of how,
Hashtag
like,
Christian University.
I feel really bad because like definitely my laptop. And when I think about like 2 other things, I'm like I can't decide. Like there is really nothing. I'm
I
like
feel like one of us should say like our Bible.
But here's the
No,
thing.
but,
But
like,
you can
there's
find your
fine-
Bible on your phone and your laptop, right?
But here's my
Yeah.
thing. I'm a ministry major, but the thing was like,
So he has to grab the
when I
Bible.
grab my Bible, there's the thing though. Like you said, I have tons. It's just a Bible is a Bible. It's like you're like all Bibles have God's word in it.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Do you know
heard-
what I mean? Like it's still there's just some sentimental stuff to it. Yes. But like would I grab the things that connect me to the people I love? Like my laptop, my phone.
Especially people. I've heard this several times before, but people say that you're supposed to grab something that. I'm sorry. The 3 things that are irreplaceable, especially like for sentimental value, something that can't be duplicated in any way, shape, or form. So yeah, if it came down to it, in the spur of the moment, I probably would grab like my laptop or something like that. But at the same time, I'd really want to get like my favorite pair of shoes, my guitar, because that's been with me
your
for
guitar,
years.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel
I
like
don't
it's
have
something
anything
like
like
that
that.
that
Yeah, I don't have
I
anything
can't
either.
I can get another one of, but it's not the same.
Yeah, see-
it's one of those things.
Thinking about it now, if I think, okay, I'm in a house fire. If I think I jump out of bed, the first 3 things that just came to mind, I just thought like, first 3 things. My gold electric guitar, that's my favorite, right? My first stuffed animal, little black stuffed dog, still have it. His name is Max. And my phone. That's it. Jump out the
Wow.
window.
See, I feel so bad because like
Don't even think about my laptop. Honestly.
none of those physical like objects for me. It's like all I care about is my family. Like if my family.
Well, I mean, I can
if
grab my
Okay,
little
I'm
brother.
saying like
No, what I- no.
physical objects.
No,
Yeah.
I know that's.
Of course, we'd all grab our little brother. Or
Right.
something.
Stop! I'm
exactly.
not. I'm not saying
I'm like guitar, little
Family
brother.
last.
in this scenario, you're saying that my family's okay. So I'm like
Yeah.
at that point, I'm
it's,
like,
it's like your personal object. So what do you?
I'm such a-
God is
Exactly.
giving you time to grab 3 things and only 3 things.
I could not choose.
You're like so.
not choose.
You're like,
You would
what do I
die in a
take? And
fire.
I just die.
It's
would
never
take-
going to be
I would
just
just-
3 things though.
I
It's
would
either
go-
going to be none of those things because you're out of the house, or it's going to be you're going to have time. Okay, I'm going to grab what I really want
Okay.
most. I see this, and this, and this, and this.
What
and
about
we'll take
like,
those?
a
Right?
more realistic situation? Like, so that you smell the fire, you wake up, and like the things in your room that are like you can grab within 10 seconds, like
Yeah.
like instinctually,
Oh,
or
actually,
close
I
to
know.
you and are valuable.
I-
So it's,
I
it's
think
practical.
those-
I know
think-
exactly what I would grab. Next to my bed, there's like little sliding cabinets, right? There's a bunch of letters that my mom has written, and
Ooh,
my
that's a
brother
good
and my
one.
family, like throughout the years, that's going on mission trips or going on different places, and I just grab all of them. Because
Good.
I remember I went back and I read them like before going to college, and like I was literally just like honestly like breaking apart because it's like such happy memories.
Wow. I made a point of not bringing things that had like super big
Yep.
sentimental value
Yep.
to
Just in
college.
case,
Like
man.
everybody told me, like you should leave your really like
Yeah.
really like expensive stuff, but more importantly, your really sentimental stuff that if it got lost or stolen, you would be like shattered, or someone you know would be shattered. So I didn't really bring anything that was like super close to my heart, like photo albums or like, letters from my parents from when I was like a baby or something like that. That's all at my house. But I can't deal with that right now. But I feel like as we've been talking about this, I feel like we've been reevaluating our priorities.
I know.
Like we're gonna go back to our dorm and we're gonna like okay,
Why do I have all this crap?
why do I have all this crap? And should I like place that stuff that I would like to take?
I'm gonna go
if
to
there's a
your
fire
Put it
more
close to the
easily?
door.
Yeah, right.
Put it close to the door. Right?
I'm gonna go
expecting
to
a
your
fire.
dorm and think about it.
Yeah.
God's like,
That's true,
well, you
that's
thought
your
about it.
dorm.
Here's a fire, right?
Ooh.
That'd be rough, actually.
That would not. That'd be pretty easy in a way. I'm pretty
I'm
sure.
trying to think, is there anything else?
It's like the door goes right outside.
Oh, what stuff you grab in a fire?
Yeah, there's nothing else I can think of at this point other than those letters. That's the
Alright.
only thing I would want.
We can take a moment and move on then. Talking about crazy stuff in dorms, right?
Yeah.
dorms.
What is the craziest dorm experience that you guys have
I
had?
just brought back a fridge. So let me explain this.
Yeah, wow.
Okay.
That's it. Wow, that's crazy. You bought a fridge. All
What?
right,
That's
Liam.
crazy.
No, yeah.
College.
Inappropriately. I'm just kidding. No, but so we,
bought a
we
fridge.
had
That
a,
an
we had a
innuendo?
fridge.
That
right?
sounds like a movie with
We had
Matt
a-
Damon.
we had
I bought a fridge.
for like our room. I have 3 roommates. But the thing is, though, we were getting overcrowded with the fridge.
So you have
and
2
such.
fridges now?
And here's the issue, though. So I would leave stuff in the fridge. My other roommate would leave stuff in the fridge. But the roommate who brought the fridge was getting kind of angry because we were leaving stuff in there. And he's like, if it doesn't stay in there past a certain day, I'm going to, like, say something. Well, I'm like, okay, isn't it a communal fridge? And he goes, no, it's my fridge. And I hate these moments in life where someone's like, especially if you're in a group, and they're like, that's mine. And, like, even though they brought it with the intention of sharing, that they make it very apparent that, like, it's their
As
thing.
soon as it conveniences them for it to be theirs, they
Exactly.
make it
That
theirs.
really gets under my skin. And so, like, I was just like, I went back home and I already had a fridge to bring, so I just brought it with me, kind of in spite of all of that. But
To be fair, technically it is their fridge.
Yeah.
But like
You should
you should establish that first. Just be like, hey guys,
No,
like
no.
I want to keep crying to a minimum because technically this is my fridge, although I'm willing to share it. As opposed to being like, yo, this is our fridge, guys. Put what you want in it, and then when it comes down to it, be like, no, this is my fridge now.
see, that was the issue. That was the issue. There's so many like examples you can use for that.
The
It's like-
ownership, I feel like the ownership card should only be played, especially when there's a serious like problem going on with here. Like I personally, I shared my PS4 with my entire dorm plus a lot of people.
It is lit.
Liam,
It is lit.
that are outside of the dorm, and I'm totally fine with that. But if it ever gets to the point where people are like infringing on my ability to use my PS4 or are like changing stuff on it that I don't like, and I've given them warnings, then that's the time to play the ownership card.
Yeah.
When
But it's
someone's
only when you've
disrespectful.
disrespectful to someone's personal property, because it is their personal property, but you should not be like, you shouldn't be all up in their face about it, you know?
Like, here's the thing: if you want to play it, and you're like, hey, you're not like, hey, I own this. You're like, hey, man, can I get a play? You're like, okay, I brought this for a communal setting. I didn't bring
Exactly.
this for my own personal gain, or you would keep it in your room.
I actually thought that I talked to a bunch of people and they were like, yeah, I have a game system like Zane here. You've got a PS3 and
I got
stuff.
a PS3 in there. We just never use it.
And we just never used it. We just got a small TV, and I didn't actually expect it to be like a communal thing, but it just kind of turned out that way. And since it didn't really bother me, I felt, you know what, it's making more people come to the dorm, stay more consistently.
It's fostering community.
It really is.
It
It's one of
is,
those
it
things,
really
you know
is.
what?
Video games bring people together. That's the name.
Also, it takes equity
for
though.
people.
Like, there's a give and take to it. Like I feel like the people that like use your PS4, obviously there's like some part of like the college experience they've helped you out, or they're sharing something with you, or in some capacity.
Oh,
right?
absolutely. Yeah, it's just I don't really want to, I don't want to say, oh, now you owe me or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
if
You're
you're
like,
to the
you
point,
paid me in friendship.
But I think it's a healthy relationship though
I
with
think it is.
anyone. Is like you have to have this like unspoken.
Give and take.
Yeah, unspoken give and take. Like it can't be established or like said, because then it just becomes awkward.
Yeah,
as long as it's
then-
not like
then
the
there's a
foundation
feeling
of a
of, like-
relationship,
Yeah.
because that can really cause like a rift later.
Yeah.
But I feel like, especially just being respectful of someone's property, but allowing other people to use yours and stuff like that.
Well, it's just having
And
the
then
common
when-
courtesy to repay someone for letting you use
Absolutely.
something that's theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. No, yeah.
I got you.
Like I spend a lot of time in Zane and Nate's dorm, and I just
Pretty much all of your time,
I
actually.
do
You live
actually.
with us.
I really
Kinda
enjoy.
weird. You're not gonna-
It is
it's a
really
little
weird. It's
no,
really weird.
you guys love me. I absolutely.
If he's not in your
Do we
dorm, he's
really?
in my dorm.
Oh,
This is true.
Is he
I
really?
He's in my. He slept in my.
You really
room
hate
one time.
311, don't you?
It's not so much that I hate. I like you guys a lot.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, don't play that
Stop
card.
it.
Don't
play
I'm
that
blushing here.
My brother had a going away party because he just recently moved to Atlanta, and they had leftover food, and they're like, "Who wants to take it?" And they're like, "The college kid wants it," and I'm like,
of course.
"I don't really want this." And
It's
I was-
okay. We have free food in the calf. We paid for it, but like, all right.
But then
Oh,
That
I,
is also cat food.
That's
Oh.
true.
Oh, my God.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
I
Yeah.
basically decided I was like, "Oh, I can bring this to 312 because I spent a lot of time in there." So I brought like those cookies that were kind of trash, but I brought them for
You know, man, a cookie's a cookie, no matter.
Yeah,
how it
and then I
smells.
brought the
True.
mission trips. I love that name. by
Mission
the
trip.
Mission chips, but they're
Oh, get out! Oh my god!
You're such a Christian. I don't understand.
And then I forget one other thing that I brought, but I was like, okay, I need to repay this dorm because I've been spending so much time in there, and
Is it like
I
Chick-fil-A?
and I eat their food. No, it wasn't Chick-fil-A. It was just like
Aw,
regular snacks.
Bummer.
Oh, I brought and so I think it really matters, like just unspoken sort of respect for the time and whatnot you're giving someone.
I agree.
But so my dorm, I think Nate was there that one time.
What
so
happened?
We were hanging out. Were you hanging out in my dorm around 1:30 when my roommate yelled at all of us?
No, thank goodness.
So around,
Keep going.
Yeah.
around I'm trying to think. I'm sorry. Around 1:30, I was probably like 4 or 5 other people. We were all chilling, and so one of my roommates has a speaker. It's 1:30
AM or PM? AM?
a.m.
Gotcha.
Early in the morning. He starts playing music. I'm like, no, lower it. Like, hey, someone's probably trying to sleep here. And so he's like, oh yeah, sure. So then my other roommate walks in and he starts raising the volume and playing music super loudly. I'm like, we are being so disrespectful right now. We're being complete assholes. So, of course, then
You said this. Who took the blanket off my bed and took a nap with it on my couch?
John Mark said it was fine.
Yeah.
Oh, John Mark said
Okay,
it was
high
fine.
horse.
Then it's
Stop.
okay.
No.
Yeah.
I talked to John Mark on the phone about this. You took it.
I took it.
Oh.
He said it was okay.
Took it.
He said it was
He's
okay.
trying to ride the high horse here, guys. This is not the case. This is not the case.
Okay.
Mr. I'm courteous to roommates.
We
Oh,
were talking
whatever.
No, I'm not.
disrespect to
No.
personal property. That's what that is. You know what?
Liam,
This is
you're
Liam.
fired,
You're out
actually.
of place here.
I gotta
out.
go.
You're leaving.
so-
You're
I gotta
done.
go.
It's 1:30. We're playing music loudly. We're totally being jerks. I was like, okay, we're being rude. My one roommate comes out and he just goes, "You effing pricks!" And he's like, he goes, "Do you know what time it is?" And we didn't check time. And we're
Wait,
like,
your roommate?
Yeah,
Like,
no,
lives in your suite?
yeah, lives in my suite. And we're just like, no. And he's like, it's past visitation. They gotta leave. And there was girls there. And then some.
Isn't your roommate an RA?
No.
Okay.
We're like, sorry. And then
Wait,
he's
how
like-
did the
then
RA
he
not
bas-
come and check it?
They did earlier, but they didn't check. Like
They just
or-
didn't check it carefully,
Yeah.
I guess.
So then he basically curses at us a few more times, and then one person who I'm not going to say who decides to say, "Well, I'm not white," and then he goes, "Well, you're an effing queer," and then the one person who's not white decides to try to get up in this guy's face, who's much taller than him.
Wait, why?
Wait, I'm so confused.
Was everyone just
I'm so
salty at 1:30 in the
so
morning?
confused.
I
No,
feel
why
like that
does-
was a joke.
Why does
No,
the
no, it
prick-
was
why
not
does
a
the
joke.
prick have to do with being white?
I don't get it, but he just
Wait, what is this?
I don't
Is
know.
that like
I don't
a-
understand.
cultural thing?
Basically,
I don't
he
know.
was just,
If you're not white, you don't have to leave.
yeah, that's why he basically said, he's like, well, I'm not white, so then like, and then
Yeah,
he's like,
yeah.
well, you're just an effing queer, and we're all like, okay, no need for this, and then the non-white person reacted very poorly to that, and we're all just like, whoa, we'll get out, we're being disrespectful, but it was like, holy crap, just like, if he had just come in and said, hey guys,
no way.
if
But
he,
what were the girls' responses to this?
everyone sitting around was
This
just
is
like,
very awkward.
everyone was just like,
Oh,
I'm like,
really
I'm like,
awkward.
hey, you know what? I know it's been a lovely time, but I think you guys need to get going.
Yeah.
But literally, it bothered me so much that, like, I get that we were in the wrong, but if he had just come in with the attitude of, like, hey, guys, I'm trying to sleep, do you mind? And it would have been a totally different thing than coming in and starting with, like, hey, you effing prick, white
The thing
pricks.
is that what he did, it'll work tremendously the first time, and then I feel like the relationship will just devolve from there. Whatever relationship.
you won't have
is
respect for
present.
them after that if they come out and be like,
No,
yo,
I-
do you know what time it is?
You're,
You'll be
you're
like,
so
"We don't
much more
care."
likely to talk back to them if they do that a second
Yeah,
time,
exactly.
assuming that you were a dick and you did that and you were in the wrong. A second
No,
time
I just
as well,
don't
you
even
know?
bother. It's just not worth it.
If
My
you think
sweet,
about
'cause it's
opposite
like,
of that, if you're like actually like nice to them and stuff, and like you're pretty like respectful and patient,
Yeah.
and the time comes where you do explode, they respect that as, oh, I
It
really did
means so
overstep.
much
Yeah.
more.
It's
It
not,
means so
but it's
much
just
more.
like I totally knew we were in the wrong, and it was totally like it was just like one of those moments where it's like if he'd come out been nice, the situation would have gone totally different. And he has freaked out at me before because the breaker in my dorm is very
Volatile.
the common room breaks. The common room breaks, so you can't you have to flip the breaker.
Yeah.
So I go into the breaker and it says living room. You know what that is, the common room. So I'm flipping it back and forth, nothing's happening. He comes out, he's like, will you stop flipping the fucking breaker? And I'm just like, bro, it's marked living room. I didn't know it was your room. My bad. And I'm just like,
It was his room. Oh my god.
yeah, it was I'm like,
Hey, can you imagine he's trying to sleep and the
No.
light just starts flicking on off? He's like,
Why would he
I
have
would
it?
probably
Oh
have had
my
his
God.
reaction.
No,
too.
I
I'd be
would've
like,
hated
what are
you,
you
like-
doing to my room right now?
No.
But think about it, when he comes into the room, he doesn't know that you think
Why
it's a
would-
living room.
he
No.
thinks he's just messing with his
yeah,
room.
he thinks he's
why, I don't see
He's
that.
like on his computer,
He
just
just-
keeps going on and off.
That's just kind of a temper issue, but I kind of see his perspective.
No.
I would be kind of upset too.
But from my perspective, I don't expect that someone's flicking my breaker on purpose because I've never had an issue with this guy, and I don't think anyone has really had an issue with him. So I don't get why you would flip out about someone flipping a breaker and just you would go out and be like, dude, what are you doing? Not like, not like
Stop flipping the
Sounds
breaker,
like he's-
bro.
Yeah,
it really
exactly.
sounds like he's got kind of like an anger complex going on here. He's being very aggressive, very presumptuous.
Think about the times in which he was like forced into these situations. Though he's probably really tired. I know
No, it wasn't like
at times
it was
that
not
I've
like the
been
breaker.
tired and
The
been
breaker
bothered,
was just
I've
someone was
exploded on
trying to
people.
charge their phone, and the living room was broken.
Okay, but that's your side of it, though. He was probably
he
trying
didn't-
to go to sleep.
No.
You're turning the light on. And
time
off.
No.
Like that's pretty
What time of
bad.
day was it? What time of day?
if I flipped the breaker and the lights off, would the light go on and off?
You stupid idiot.
Okay, I'm sorry. Wait,
He was
wait, what are
sitting-
You know, that's my
How
fault.
do you?
I
how
brought
are
that
you
point
in
up
honors?
first.
But no, what I'm trying to say is that like I get it. It's annoying to have something to break, but if you've been like, dude, what are you doing? And I was like,
Dude, what
bro,
are you
it's
doing?
labeled living room. I'm sorry that they mislabeled the breakers. It was redone 2 days
To
ago.
be fair, Liam, wouldn't you have known that the breaker was not the living room when you flipped the switch and it didn't do anything in the living room?
Liam is just getting dumped on right now. We're just trying
I'm
to do
trying
the
to-
right
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Listen,
I always try to
I'm
play
trying to come
devil's
out with
advocate.
logic. Take the
I will
logic
be
back.
totally honest with you. I don't really mess with breakers. My house works fine. The breakers don't break.
shut up.
So I'm the host of these people.
I don't think he's
visiting-
gonna win this argument.
I don't think
It's
so.
not an
Yeah.
argument. It's not
I
an
think you
argument.
just suck.
It is. Though.
I'm just, you know what, guys? I'm just a crappy person in my core.
This is true.
And I
I'm
just-
glad you acknowledge it.
I
We're
go-
all thinking it.
I go around flipping breakers in people's rooms that are mislabeled, and it's my fault.
Taking blankets off their bed and then using it with their
Okay,
dirty clothes.
we're gonna talk about
to
this
lay on
right
the
now.
couch.
This could be talked. I feel like this is a personal thing. That
Okay,
should be
this
is
something
kind of
later.
a-
No, no,
this is
I want to move on to
absolutely
Nate's
issue.
crazy.
Just
No.
to let you know,
story.
I left him an angry voicemail. I
Yeah.
never do that.
Yeah,
so-
no, I was so shook by it. I'm like, I didn't know you'd be this upset about a blanket.
Well, it was
Because you
no,
let me
listen.
borrow the blanket.
I know.
Okay.
Listen,
Wait, let me give some backstory.
Nate, are we listening to a couple
Girls,
fight
girls,
right now?
girls,
Wait,
girls.
wait,
one
can I
at
get
a
some-
time.
I'll just say this last point. I'll be done.
Can I say a backstory for them?
Okay.
So, me and John Mark were chilling in his dorm.
Put a pin in it.
And then, as one does, his dorm is freezing all the time. So
I keep
John
mine
Mark's
around, like,
hogging
60.
the
I
blanket,
love that. I do too.
and I'm like, dude, can I have a blanket? He's
So
like,
John Mark was hogging his own blanket.
yes, yes.
Wow, how dare you?
I know, right? How
Why
did
didn't
John
you
Mark
just,
for doing
why
his
didn't you
own
just
blanket?
cuddle with John Mark?
Listen, that's not the point.
He's done that before.
So
Oh!
Hasn't ever lied.
David has a blanket which he has let me use before, which you have.
Which I have, yes.
So I'm like, oh, he's like, John Mark's like, use David's blanket. I'm like, okay. I'm like, where is it? He goes, it's on David's bed. He's like, go grab it. I'm like, okay. I went and grabbed it and I used it. And then I am sitting in class.
Little did you know.
Little did I know. I'm sitting in class. I get a voicemail
I was
from
gonna say
David.
it.
Wait, can I
thought
play
he was
it?
gonna say I was
Can
in
play
class.
it?
Please
no,
play it, please play it.
I don't remember what I said. I was like,
My
really
phone's
angry.
about to die.
Doesn't
I
matter.
thought,
Worth it.
Liam, I thought you were about to say I
what
was,
percentage-
I
you
was in
still have
class
the
with his
voice?
blanket.
Is that speaking?
Right, I ended it. That's not cool, dude.
Hey, did you get my blanket off my bed? Was it you or John Mark? Because I would like to know the information. Because that's my blanket on my bed. You guys took off and were using. That's not cool, dude. Can you
Okay,
call
okay,
back?
now hold
that's
on.
not good.
Actually, I'll be in work. But just don't do that, okay?
Okay.
Wow,
what
you
I'm
were
hearing,
really
what I'm
upset.
hearing is two hyphenated words. Passive aggressive.
Could you just like not do that? That wasn't cool, dude.
He was about to blow
I literally got the call and I'm like,
Listen, I caught myself. I'm like, this is just getting mad about this is not going to solve anything. So I tried. It was an up and down,
No.
cooling myself down. that whole voice.
Yeah.
You were like,
David,
"I'll cut your
I will
head
ask
off."
you
Actually,
next
no.
No, but it wasn't even really you. This is where the issue came. This is the second time it happened. The first time I had made it clear to John Mark, dude, my roommate John Mark, don't use my blanket like off my bed unless you ask me. And so he said, okay, dude, won't happen again. Happens again, and I'm like, that happened again. Second, I already warned him one time, and he goes, oh yeah, dude, it wasn't me. And so I was like, okay.
But he gave the green
I
light.
know. And he
Oh,
goes,
John Mark
he goes,
reflecting responsibility.
He goes, Liam took it off your bed, and I was like, oh no, he didn't.
I didn't
Bro,
know.
I bet
that
John
was
Mark-
my
but-
issue.
but
It
then in
happened
my defense-
twice. My first time,
No.
I was like,
So
okay.
wait, does that mean that
didn't
this
know.
is John Mark's fault?
John Mark shifted on him? That was the issue.
On a side note, David, then you don't have a right to get pissed at me because I didn't know you had
I
such
had
an
already
issue.
told you the first time.
Ladies,
too. I had told both
this
of
is
you.
not
I think
couples
there's shared.
therapy.
I think there's shared responsibility a little bit more on John Mark's side since he's the roommate. And
So
he was
John
directly
Mark,
He was
told.
also informed.
But
Yes,
you
John
were-
Mark
you
is a
knew
member of this
about it.
podcast
You knew about
family.
it.
I bet he feels the bus that's completely on top of
although
him
his
right now.
episode will probably not be aired, I will go back and listen to it if I like it, and then we'll re-air it. But
Oh, if you like,
There
it,
will be an
then
evaluation.
okay.
Let me get this
process.
right. I love John Mark, my roommate, but I only had the issue with like they'd used the blanket before, but if I had put it on my bed, I use it to sleep with. I don't want other people like using it at that point.
Yeah.
John Mark is not here to
Do you
defend
think I don't
himself.
take
I don't like
showers?
this.
I'm saying I love John Mark. I'm just saying like I was mad at Liam because I thought Liam was the one who took it physically off my bed. That was the issue I had. It happened twice, so I thought it was appropriate to get mad at that point.
All right. Nate, craziest dorm story.
Craziest
Please.
dorms. Oh my gosh.
Did someone steal your blanket? Because
I've
apparently
got-
that's punishable by death.
So
And a passive-aggressive voicemail.
Oh my god.
I don't think I've had any like really crazy like life altering, really weird experiences. I've just had a few. I just get annoyed by certain things, and one of them is especially excessive noise when I personally am trying to go to bed. Especially
Like
if that
in the,
excessive.
form of, in the form of a breaker switch.
Or your light flickering on and
To
off.
be honest,
It
if
doesn't
my
make
alarm is
sense.
going on and off, I'd be actually like really creeped out. And then if I heard like the breaker tripping over and over, I would have been kind of pissed at the person out there. Besides the point.
But if I was then like, bro, it was mislabeled, my bad, you'd be like, oh, it's all good, man.
Yeah, but that's because like we're friends though. Like you weren't friends with your sweet
It doesn't
mate.
matter. You wouldn't.
Yes, it does.
It makes the
All right,
world.
we're
It makes
moving
the world.
on.
Okay,
we're
all right,
moving
all right.
on.
This is not.
makes
We're
a
getting off
difference.
of Liam's problems.
I want that recorded.
Okay, all right.
And then you use
It
that.
is
Anyway.
recorded.
Okay, so one of my big pet peeves, especially excessive noise after I'm trying to go to bed, especially when it also prevents my highly irritable roommate. Can I say? Should I say his name? My highly irritable roommate, my actual roommate, to not be able to go to bed either because he can get pretty
grumpy.
He can get very grumpy, and
gets
especially if
grumpy.
you sleep 9 feet from him, it's not a good place to live in. It's not a good world to live in. So anyway, so it's just it's a regular weeknight, and it's after midnight, and so I'm trying to go to bed. I've got an 8 a.m. the next day.
I relate.
I actually think it might have been like Sunday night. So I've got Monday classes, and Mondays are packed for me. So I'm already kind of like irritated about that.
Yeah.
Is that fine? Okay, I'm sorry. So my roommate just kind of goes, he's in his bed, he's doing whatever on his electronics, and we hear this scraping noise, like someone is moving like a dying elephant above our dorm. So there's 3 floors, and we're on the first of the three floors. And so the people directly above us in the same room that's directly above us it sounds like they're moving furniture. So we let this go on. They are moving furniture for, I kid you not, about 20 minutes.
Oh my god.
Okay, so my roommate
Does it look better here?
Yeah, no.
Or here?
My
we need
roommate,
to move it all again.
My roommate was upset after the first 2 minutes, right? And I was kind of irritated, but it goes to the point where he actually was able to doze off, and then it woke him back up again after the scraping got louder.
No.
So I'm like, okay, you know what? And he was like, I'm about to call the our RA. And I was like, you know what? Don't do that. I'm going to go up there and ask them what's going on. So after it goes on for a little over 20 minutes, I go over and I go up the stairs and I just knock on their door and I just find it and I just look in. I don't know anybody there. I don't know the people that were having a problem with it. But sure enough, they were rearranging their entire rooms to decide what the best layout would be. This is weeks after, over a month into the semester. They are trying to, at 12:30 at night, on a Sunday night, trying to adjust their furniture position to be for optimal range. And I said, listen, and the passion aggression was really kind of coming out.
Passion aggression.
The passive
That's
aggressiveness,
passive.
whatever.
I like passion.
Passive
passion
aggressiveness
and the
is coming out in my voice, and I'm starting to get a little bit angry. I mean, I'm a really skinny dude,
got the
so I
Texas
can't really
blood?
beat anybody up. But these kids, I would have tried to take them if they were going to keep on doing this. So I was like, okay, listen, you cannot be doing this right now. I wasn't quite that harsh, but listen, I've gotten at 8 a.m. My roommate is getting really upset about this. Can you
And
please
he's a
stop?
big guy.
And they tell me, they don't apologize. They're like, okay, we'll be done in a couple of minutes.
Oh boy!
I was beyond upset. I was like,
You
listen.
see the eyebrow twitch?
I was like, I looked at it and I was like, hey, listen, I'm going to tell my RA if y'all aren't able to stop this in the next
I'm
5
gonna tell my
minutes.
mom
Like,
on you.
straight up. You got to stop this.
I'm gonna
And so I
tell
went back
Mom.
down, and it was like another 10 minutes.
Bro, you should have
I
called
should have
Drew
called
on.
Drew,
Should've
but the
sick
problem was
Drew on.
I was really tired and I was dozing off by that point. It was my roommate was the only one that had a really big issue with it, and he was fuming over that for the
I
next
imagine
couple of
just-
days.
I
And
imagine
that's
your
the end of
roommate-
my story. I'm sorry that was long.
Your roommate's just sitting there going,
I was,
That's exactly what he would do.
and then every once in a while he'd be like,
Bro.
what are these guys doing, man? You know, like with a little accent in there. Yeah, right.
A little bit in there.
guys doing?
Fist.
That would...
Yeah.
I remember
He's a
the
good guy.
one time, like,
I love him.
It was like
I love him. I love him.
Salt of the earth.
Salt of the
Salt
earth.
of the earth.
I was writing a paper at like midnight, finishing up. It was actually extra credit because I'm a nerd.
Oh, I remember this.
Yeah.
I remember this.
And so I was in my dorm. It's like midnight, and so my roommate has a TV in his room and then a PS4. He has like 5 friends all playing 2K. I have headphones in at my desk doing homework. I don't really care. It turns midnight, and they've been in there for like an hour. I'm like, how long can they play 2K for?
Oh, they can play 2K.
So they finish a game, and I go, hey, how much longer are you guys gonna be? Because I got an 8 a.m. And then like they're all like, whoa, and then they're like, oh, we'll be like 2 more minutes. And so they all start leaving, and one guy's like looks more upset than he should have been that I was kicking him out of the room. Like he looked upset at me for
Are you
saying,
gonna hit you or something?
not like, just more like I can't believe it. Like more like he's being a killjoy.
You
and
prick.
I'm like,
How dare you? How dare you want to
doing?
sleep?
you
What are you
white
doing?
prick.
You douche.
Also-
this is my room just as much as yours. Yeah.
Also, people are stealing. I think my roommate's friends are stealing my water. If they listen to this, I hope you freaking stop
Get
stealing my
called
water.
out, man. Wow.
Boy.
I had 2 water bottles on my desk because there was only 2 left in my little Separate Hills package, and so I put them both on my desk because I'm like, no one's gonna take anything off my desk. That's ridiculous. Who would do that?
You thought.
Incorrect assumption,
I was like-
Liam. But go on.
I'm too innocent when it comes to stealing. Like I've never stole anything in my
Oh,
life.
Liam. He's too perfect.
I can't steal stuff. Like I get too guilty.
You're making it really hard for me right now.
I love how
like-
David's in the
But
same.
He's just like the little
I
flower
thought the
child.
blank. David,
We're talking about
I thought the
Wait,
blank.
I'm not
David,
very-
listen.
So is
From the
this-
bottom
is
of my
this-
soul.
no,
Wait.
talking about it.
Is that what's happening right now?
Oh.
311, sweet
311.
312.
No, David. From
yeah.
the bottom of my heart, I did not know you were gonna have a problem with it. I will ask next time. I
We're all
apologize.
neighbors, by the way.
I am so sorry that I stole your blanket. I do actually legitimately feel bad because I did.
He's
not know
never
that.
And
stolen
this has
anything.
been Friends Makeup Session on. This is what are we called?
Mostly
Mostly
White
white
Noise.
noise. Sorry.
Couples
Mostly
therapy.
white noise.
You know what?
Okay, wait.
This
Let me
is
finish.
couples
So the
therapy.
Separate Hills bottle, 2
I
on
still
my
haven't
desk.
told my crazy dorm story.
Okay, well,
Hurry up, Liam. You've been
So-
talking a while.
I'm sorry. Ah!
This is Liam's episode.
I love you, buddy.
So 2 water bottles on my desk. I grab one before class, come back, want to grab another water bottle. It's gone. Like my last water
really?
bottle, gone off my desk.
Really? Did you confront him?
I did not. I got one more story. So I think my roommate's friends are sketch.
Wait,
Oh
what
my
happened?
God,
Wait.
I still haven't told my story.
You'll get. We'll finish.
Will I get there? Will I get there, Liam?
Your
Will I get there,
story-
Liam?
your
You
story
talked
will
in a
not.
solid 30 minutes out of this. Like, what? How long is it?
Girls,
been?
girls,
I-
please.
My
please,
dormmate,
please.
my listen.
I
My
just want
roommate's
people
friends
to
are
hear my
sketch.
beautiful
I left.
voice.
I keep my headphones always in my pocket. I left them on the side of my desk. Right? They go missing. They go missing. Right? David, stop. David, stop.
David is absolutely
Liam,
losing
let's make
it.
sure to tell them whose headphones these
No,
were that
they
you
weren't.
borrowed.
No, no, David.
Liam,
David's
Liam,
got
you
some
have been
deep
preying on
issues.
David.
I need to explain.
Liam is the real victim
I need
for
to-
every problem that has happened in this entire
I need to
podcast.
explain. The
All
reason
right,
I'm
Liam.
talking is because
All right,
every time.
Liam. 120 seconds will give you of total silence. All right, David, you agree to that? Just to let him get it out of his
Okay,
system.
Okay,
Alright.
so let's start.
Okay.
A while ago, my headphones went missing. So then I asked David, I'm like, hey man, can I borrow some headphones? I borrow some headphones. I find my other headphones, but then I thought I gave the pair back to David because the other ones went missing. So fast forward a while, I leave my headphones on my desk. They go missing. I go like, hey man, have you seen my roommate? Or have you seen my headphones?
Have you seen my He's missing too? That was not 120
David's
seconds.
headphones.
Liam, continue.
So my headphones go missing. And I'm like, yo bro, where'd they go? And then he goes, he just assumes, he
You're
assumes.
dropping bars right now.
So
so
instead of assuming I misplaced them,
Sucker.
no, instead of assuming I misplaced them, he assumes that someone stole them. So I'm like, that means he knows his friends are sketch, that they steal stuff. Because he's like, no, bro, that's not cool if someone took them. He's like, someone took them. He's like texting his friends and everything. I'm just like,
He probably took them.
so then he goes, no, bro.
just kidding.
He goes,
No, I'm just kidding.
He goes, yo, bro, I have extra headphones. Here you go. He gives me his extra headphones. They are David's headphones because David's headphones had a knot in them, and I knew it because the knot was there. And so I gave them back to David. I did get headphones though. My mom had an extra pair. Bless her soul.
But yeah, credit goes to.
But I did get my I thought I gave them back to David because I assumed that I would give them back if I couldn't find them in my dorm, not that someone stole them. So yeah, my roommate, I do actually respect his person. I think it was just a miscommunication about whose headphones they were. If you listen to this, you probably won't. But also, your friends seem sketch, man. TBH.
And their rant
So,
over. And you still had some seconds to spare, too. I was chiming
Yo,
in.
bro.
What was I at?
Like 80 seconds.
Oh,
Dang,
perfect.
Yeah, you're fine.
Zane.
All right.
I'm sorry I monopolized the time.
No, it's okay,
love
dude.
you.
I was just kidding. I literally don't care. It's
Hey.
fine. We do this all the time.
All right, I want to hear another 312 story. Let's do this.
All right, I gotta think, man. I have a couple, but like, I don't want to talk about.
Oh, you've been pushing me to the side, saying that Liam's monopolizing all the time. It's your time
like,
to shine.
you
You're
know
like,
what,
one
Liam?
story.
I've been too
Let me ask,
invested.
let me
This is
ask you,
his
Liam.
time.
Are we allowed to do like controversial or like personal topics? Because I think that's kind of what
Go
kind of
for
going
it.
into like regarding names
Go
of
for
like
it.
312 members.
No names, but no one listens to this, so
Like
don't worry.
as much ambiguity as you possibly can, but if it's a
Yeah, I
story
got
like
you.
involving breaking rules, that's fine.
That's
So
fine.
go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah, exactly.
With 312
So,
rules.
actually, I have
No,
a couple
just, like,
stories.
PBA
No,
rules.
that is one of them. I'll give him
really?
that story. But
Okay,
yeah,
alright.
I got two quick ones. So one of them, a roommate that lives in 312, had his girlfriend over, and we have two stalls in our bathroom, and one of them, David is losing his name. They know, and one of them had a little bit of urine in the toilet. You know, somebody just didn't flush when they peed. I don't know who it was, but it happened actually again today. It was a problem.
I did not go to bathroom 312, so it's not me
But
today.
I never use the second stall. It's tiny.
We're not doing this again.
My
Keep
dick
going,
doesn't- my
Zane.
dick doesn't fit in
Keep.
there. Anyway, I sitting out in the common, or I don't even think I was there. I wasn't even there when this happened. I just heard about it. And apparently, so this guy, he goes into the bathroom, he sees it, he comes out, he yells at everyone. He's like, "Yo, who did this? Like, this isn't."
I was there.
Were you?
Yep.
Yeah. He's like, "Who did this? This is immature. Like, you should clean up after yourself." Granted, totally founded, completely founded. You can flush the toilet. We're all in college now. Be an adult, right? Flush the toilet when you use it. So it's fine.
I mean, you can forget.
And then apparently the next day, was it you that confronted him and you were like, "Why didn't you flush it?"
No,
he,
no.
he comes back. He comes
Did
back,
I?
right?
I think it was
somebody.
Chase.
Oh,
Oh, it
that
was
that
probably- yeah.
the
Oh,
accuser
wait.
didn't flush
Yes.
it.
Wait.
Oh yeah, that was
Oh,
me.
it's-
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was
So,
me.
so we
That was
go
me.
back into the bathroom, right? Toilet is still not flushed. We come out. We're like, "Okay, so why didn't you flush?" He's like, "Man, I'm not gonna flush if it's not my mess." Goes back to be an adult and flush it, man.
We're currently having like an ongoing issue in which no one is willing to
Own up.
no one is willing to grow a pair of testicles and take
Wait, is
out
this
the
still
trash.
not flushed?
No. This is about the trash now.
They're all
This is
passively aggressive standing around the
Okay,
toilet.
If you
actually-
flush the freaking toilet, Nate.
Actually, it did happen again, but this time, said roommate, the accuser that did not flush the toilet and wanted the person to do it, he did flush it this time when
Good
he found
guy.
it.
Good guy.
He was still angry, but at least he did it. He learned
be
his
angry
lesson
too.
from me yelling at him, which usually doesn't work, but hallelujah, that works. But anyway, we've got an ongoing issue in 312 in which there are several trash bags that are unwilling to be taken out. And
They
We
are
have a
pi-
system for this.
They are piloting.
Which we
No
haven't
one's
used a bottle
actually
for
like-
the
You
system.
guys see a schedule?
I really wish we just had like a schedule.
You guys
or
just
we
need
just
a
had
rotation
people.
wheel. So Nate, Zane, etc., and then so whenever trash bag's full, the next person does it.
That would make a lot more sense. But somehow I feel like they're not going to agree.
Or
to
we
that.
could make like one of those carnival spin
You know what,
wheels
we'll-
where you
we'll
win a
call-
prize,
we'll call a
and you have
312
your name
meeting.
on it, and you spin it, and it's like tick, 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 whoever's name it lands on, like Wheel of Fortune style.
Oh, I like that.
There's
That's
actually a lot of good ideas. We'll call a 312 cartel meeting tonight.
Spin the bottle.
Anyway, so wait, did you have another story or did you not?
I did really quick. So there is a roommate in 312, and my friend Nathaniel over here, he has a vape, he has an e-cigarette, an electric cig, a vape
think they got it,
pen,
man.
a vaporizer.
Keep describing it.
boiling
Wow.
water.
Okay.
A thing that you use for nicotine that is a vape. Anyway,
Oh my god. Yo, bro, you're being too long.
So our RA doesn't like walking in on us when we're using it. It's just a thing. So this roommate was using it at one point, and it was like 12:30, which is usually when the RA comes through and does checks to make sure everybody's like in their
11:30.
room and nothing sketchy's going on, right? 11:30, sorry.
Yeah,
And actually, it was a little bit late. It was like 12:15.
Oh, that's right, it was late,
And
'cause
Drew
I'd
hadn't
gone
come
to
through
bed.
yet. Yeah, Drew hadn't come through yet. And Nate was in bed.
Yeah.
And the vape was out in the common room. And I wasn't there. I believe we were recording a podcast actually when this happened.
I believe we were as well.
And Drew comes in at like 12:15, and said roommate assumed that it was me because Drew hadn't come through yet, and Drew usually comes through at like 11:30, so he just assumed Drew wasn't coming that night. So the door cracks open, and roommate goes,
It's a dang
takes a
kid.
fat rip, and Drew walks
the
in and
kids say.
"All right, seriously, man," takes it. And so that was gone. That was a whole process getting that back. So that was just a stupid thing that happened.
Yeah, I'm still a little bit salty about that, but you know
But-
what? What's done is done, and
Nate.
I will not hold grudges.
On that
I will attempt
salty
not to do so.
roommate note, this has been mostly white noise.
Are we done?
I believe we
We're
are
calling
done.
it. All right.
All right. Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you
No,
so
wait,
much,
hang on.
everybody.
That was not a proper outro. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This has been mostly guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This has been mostly white noise. My name is Zane.
My name is Nate.
My name is Liam.
My name is David.
Thank you, David, for joining us tonight. It's been very fun, and thank you
you
guys for
being
listening.
our Asian flavor of the day.